and tell somebody. Reach in, reach out, reach up. Come and see, it's the Lord's Church TLC, where everyone is welcome. Be free and tell somebody. Reach in, reach out, reach up. Come and see at TLC. You will be free. It's the Lord's Church. It's the Lord's Church. Come and see at TLC. You will be free. It's the Lord's Church. It's the Lord's Church. Come and see. It's the Lord's Church TLC, where everyone is welcome. Be free and tell somebody. Reach in, reach out, reach up. Come and see, it's the Lord's Church TLC, where everyone is welcome. Be free and tell somebody. Reach in, reach out, reach up. Come and see at TLC. You will be free. It's the Lord's Church. It's the Lord's Church. Come and see at TLC. You will be free. It's the Lord's Church. The Lord's Church.
Worship Center.
Hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Waiting to Exhale show. How is everyone?
Doing great.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Good, good. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I am Natarsa, and my co-hosts are.
Hi, I'm Tanisha.
Hi, I'm Nicole.
And I'm Latoya Yvette.
And tonight we have our special guest back by popular demand. Let's welcome the Rices back. Justin and Patrice have not, they gave us another yes, and we appreciate it. Welcome, you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
How was y'all's week? How did you make it through this another week of the corona?
Look, we still here.
Corona.
Thank you, Lord.
That's right.
Yes, it was that online virtual school.
Yeah, school was something.
So what
That's
was
it.
I don't have children in like elementary, middle, high school. My oldest son in college, my youngest son in college. But what was the hardest part about virtual school?
I would say probably just trying to make sure kids can get logged on and getting used to that, because you're going out of one. Like, I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old. You know, the 12-year-olds have to change classes, and you having to get out of one session to go into another session, like you're actually in school.
Okay. Wow.
That's interesting.
That is.
My kids are grown. Well, I mean,
Right.
my, sister and brother are grown.
And didn't the system crash at the beginning of the week?
The
Oh,
system
really?
crashed.
Oh, wow.
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 Like, did it crash for like the whole day? Was it the whole day?
I don't know exactly.
It's about half the day. About half the day.
After
Oh,
that,
okay.
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 Wow.
But I think one positive that came out of this whole situation that the children don't have as much of a distraction while being in class with other students.
But that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. That's good. And to the Rices, have your children started back? They started as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
did.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Some kids love it. I know my nephew, he's 16 and he absolutely hates it.
Oh, really?
But he needs that. He needs people. You know, he's a
Yeah.
people person. So he's really struggling, but he's struggling through the whole coronavirus, you know, just the whole quarantine and everything. So he's one of those people, he needs to be around his peers. So he is not happy about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, question
Well-
before we like do I know they have their own classrooms, but are they still like able to like conversate with each other, or do they see each other? Like, is it like a Zoom classroom type
Right.
thing? Oh, that's cool. They had that for my all depends.
Some classes yes, some classes no.
Okay. I know that's what when I was in high school they did that with my pre-calculus math class. Like my teacher wasn't actually in the classroom.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they do have for the students, they do have some one-on-ones with the teacher, just the student and the child. Is that what you're okay? Okay, I didn't realize that.
Well,
Right.
the way they've been doing it is that after the class, the teacher will stay online for like an extra 15, 20 to 30 minutes in case
Okay.
any students request
Oh, okay.
while they're doing their
Good.
classwork or their homework. So yeah.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
That's good.
Well, tonight we are here to talk about the last week the Rices, they blessed our socks off
Yes, they did.
Indeed.
with the just the knowledge and your story. Wow, I know you all from afar, and just to hear your story, you know, just opened up the way you all shared. And I think all of us would agree that you are definitely raw.
Yeah.
And I know everybody that commented said that, wow, y'all really had guests that told it like it was. So
Right.
I appreciated the raw for sure.
Absolutely.
But tonight we're going to talk a little bit more about your story, and we want to jump into the blended family aspect of it. So I guess we'll just jump right in and say, how does this work? Give us like your first nugget that you would advise us, and then we'll start getting into our questions.
Well, it should start from the main two people. And that's the people that are trying to make their marriage work as well. If the kids don't see that the parents are working together, they're not going to really work together either. They're going to pick sides.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
That is good.
Like whenever the house gets unbalanced or when I feel like things are just not properly in order, I'll call a family meeting. It's 7 of us in this house. So I'll call a whole family meeting. If I ever say family meeting, everybody's like, oh Lord, what do we do? What's going on?
Right.
At that point, because at that point, I'm not talking to them individually. I'm talking to us as a unit, as a whole team. You know what I'm saying? So then they know it's kind of serious if I call it family meeting. But communication is extremely important. Like with my kids, I'm very open and honest with them. My mother was the same with me, and some of you guys know, some of you guys don't know. I lost my mom this past July, and I lost my stepfather in May. So I actually lost 2 parents within 65 days of each other, and that changed me. And I had to, you know, be open and honest with my children and tell them, I'm not the mom that you guys are used to right now. You know, I'm a daughter. I'm somebody that's broken. I'm hurting. If I can't get out of bed today, I need you guys to understand. I got to figure out how to deal with this so I can get, you know. So I'm just open with my kids like that. So they know if I don't come out of my room that day, I'm having a day, you know, and I don't know why. And they'll come and check on me and I'll them. So it's about communication, detailed instructions, because these kids nowadays ain't built the way we was built.
I agree.
Not at all.
I agree.
Not at all. Not at all. They could no way. So we give them very detailed instructions to make sure everybody knows what to do. We have chore lists, we have rules, And the only rule that's kind of sort of different for them is like curfews and bedtime. But that's because they're different ages.
Okay.
But other than that, everybody has chores and they know the rules. And if you break them, you want to deal with the consequences. And that's that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about at the beginning of your relationship? How did they accept mom dating again or dad dating again or?
Well, the older two were hers to start with. So
Okay.
me having to come in, I guess they was excited because, okay, I don't have a father. So now I may have a father that's around, somebody I may be able to play with or, just get some type of other something that I feel like I'm missing from my mother that she can't give me. The biggest part with that is still, though, for things to work, she had to trust me to be able to father them.
Wow.
Because if she didn't, they're going to see us at odds with each other. And then they're going to see, okay, I can stick with mommy and I can do this, or I can go to his side and try to do this and try to pin us against each other more than what we are.
They tried it. They tried
Right.
to play each other several times. So
Yeah.
they kids. Kids can
Right.
be kids. Especially when they grow up a little bit and start smelling themselves and think they know more than you. Yeah. No.
I think that's really big what you just said about the opportunity or her being able to trust you prior to, them. Because I think that's so important that I think sometimes we do it as parents too, that you have to establish some type of trust, not only with the person that may already have children, but you do have to gain the trust of the children that may be your bonus children that you're getting.
Right.
Right.
It wasn't easy. It was not easy because, like I said at the end of the last show, I had my own way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? I was a single parent. To give them when I gave it to them, our schedules were like this. Their punishments were like this. The way I reprimanded them was like this. And he came in and changed the whole game. So we had a lot of arguments and a lot of fights over the kids. Matter of fact, that was the only thing we really argued about in the beginning.
Yeah, that was a lot of it. That's because
I understand.
And I ain't gonna lie to you. He looked at me one day and he said, "All right, then." He said, "You raised it."
Yeah, you raised it.
Oh my God, I heard that conversation.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Can we talk about it? Because
Talk about it.
I can't do this for myself. Yeah.
Because if you can't do it by yourself, there's no
Right.
need for me to try to work this out. 'Cause
Right.
that's part of the reason why I'm here.
Right.
And she has a male child. I have to make sure that male child turns out the way he's supposed to. And he's mimicking his mother the way that she walks and the way she talks and the way she holds her hands and things like that. That's something that a man is going to see that's not supposed to be there. So I had to work this out. Okay, you see that I'm here now. This is how I sit. This is how I stand. This is how I walk. I'll talk. Not the way your mother does it. Not saying that's wrong, but the fact that, okay, I'm a man here now. I can teach you how to grow up to be a young man.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
It was hard.
Wow.
That's good.
I hated him.
It was.
One of the biggest things I know this young lady who's getting married and she has children, and the young man she's getting married to doesn't. And I said, I think one of the biggest pieces to blending a family, you need to discuss how you are going to be as far as discipline is concerned prior to getting married. Could you tell us, how did you all handle that, especially if you come from two different backgrounds?
That was a real tough one, because I'm a strong disciplinarian and
I'm more of a talker and an explainer.
I am too.
I mean, don't get it twisted. If I had to put my hands on you, it's gonna be a problem because I don't really like. You know what I'm saying? If I ever have to give you a whooping or a spanking, or if I hit you, that means we all the way there. We on 10. But most of the time, I'm gonna talk to you first, and I'm gonna communicate with you first, and then if you don't do what I told you to do after I take the time to explain why, when I don't have to, it's the whole situation. It's
Oh my God. We gotta talk.
Because my thing is,
So-
as a parent,
So with
I don't have to tell you why. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I don't have to give you a reason. When I tell you to do something, I don't have to give you an explanation.
That's right.
why you
That's
need to
right.
do it. So
I agree.
therefore, if I take the time to give you an explanation when I don't have to, and then you
That's a
still
courtesy. Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's the whole problem.
Right.
I'm going above and beyond to explain it
Yeah,
to you.
that's a
and you
courtesy.
yeah.
So
And
Patrice,
don't let me have to call him.
Oh yeah, it's completely over
Patrice, my question is for you. Let's say the first time he the corporal punishment, the very first time, like what did you do? What did you do? Like, do you remember when that first time?
It looks like she does remember.
I remember.
friends.
I absolutely positively remember. I didn't talk to him for like 5 days.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, like literally, like there was no good morning, no, I love you. There was the only time we communicated was about the babies because we had to bathe them and put them down because we had twins. So that's the only time. That's the only thing we would talk about. Other than that, I didn't talk to him for 5 whole days. The first time he disciplined my oldest son, I was so
Wow.
mad. I was so mad at him.
Do you remember how the child, whichever child that was, do you remember how they took it, or what they did in response to? And
Okay,
that question is for either of you all.
This is kind of personal, but I do remember there after that happened, every time I got ready to leave the house, he was always like, "Mommy, where you going? Mommy, can I go with you?"
Right.
And I'm like, "That's your dad. He's not gonna hurt you. But I just want to go with you." I couldn't get out the door without him being on my heels. So therefore, we had to have a whole conversation. We had to work.
But you didn't come to me as conversation. You came to me. Look, he always doing this when I'm leaving the house. So what are you doing to my baby? That's how it's
That's how, but she just said it was a conversation, sir.
Don't talk like that though.
And the reason why I asked that question is because I've been the stepmom, I've been the mom, I've been the stepchild. And I remember the first time my stepfather hit me. He only hit me once. And they had a big conversation about it. And however, I called the police. Because I was like, "You're not my dad." Because I'm old. I was an older child by then. So they got married when I was like 11, 12. So I was just wondering, how did you all work through that? And because I do know, like you said, kids will
They
play
will.
one against the other.
They will.
Because I did.
Mhm.
I was
That's
hoping I
right.
was gonna break them up. They still together, thank
Yeah.
God, and I love them. So if y'all are looking, I love you, and I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah, I mean, I know I did it. I was like, yes, she gonna get rid of you now. But she didn't.
The Bible said, and when I'll never forget the first time I said this to my kids. I said, "Y'all don't understand. Biblically, he comes first."
Mhm.
And they was like,
Wow.
they all looked at me
Wow.
like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I fix y'all food first and fix y'all plates first and take care of y'all first because he says it's fine. Take care of the kids first. I'm good."
Right.
But
Right.
biblically, he's supposed to come first. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of people skip that part. They skip that part.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
once I taught my kids that, and they started to see how strong our bond was, and no matter how they acted, no matter what they did, no matter which one of us they went to, it won't gonna work. They calm down.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
good.
So now our rule is like, even right now we have an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and 11-year-old twins that are about to turn 12. And the rule is, if you come to me and ask me something, you still have to go to him and ask him. Like, it's your responsibility to make sure we both know. It's not my job to say, "Oh, well, she wants to do this weekend. He wants to do that weekend." No. You want to be grown, you want to be responsible, you want to have your fun, and you have to both know. So, and that also keeps the communication where it's supposed to be too.
Yes.
That way
Right.
nobody can have the loop. Because in a big family, stuff can get
Things can fall through the cracks and very easily.
Yeah.
And one thing that happened, they would go to her for something, and then they would come to me for something, and it may be the same thing, but they may get 2 different answers because we haven't talked to each other. So that's
Right.
okay. Who do I go to?
Mhm.
So
Right.
you know,
Mama says
know
this
what's
is
right
such.
answer.
Daddy says this is such.
Yeah. You go to the
Right.
one who's gonna say yes first.
Right.
As a
And they
child,
know,
I mean, as a child, you
they
go
know
to
this.
the one who. Okay, now this situation, I know, Mama gonna say yes first,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to Daddy next because I know he gonna
Right.
say yes to this part. Yeah, so I get it. I did the same thing. Yeah,
I think that's really good.
that's good. Now,
But if we on the same page,
So at the beginning of a relationship, how long do you think is the appropriate time to introduce your new partner to your children?
That's a good question. My situation was a little bit different because I've known Justin the majority of my life, so it wasn't like he was a stranger.
okay.
I don't know. I guess it's a matter. I don't think, in my personal opinion, if somebody else was asking me this question, the opinion that I would give them would be whenever you're comfortable. I know, like, people like to put an actual time limit on it, but it has to be like when you're comfortable, when that single parent is comfortable enough to do so. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that person is not going anywhere. Make sure that you guys have talked about being long term with each other, because you don't want to be introducing your kids to a bunch of different people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Too many. Yes.
Right.
Too many.
Yes, but
Just make sure you have that conversation first, whenever you feel comfortable. Because nobody knows your child like you do.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
So it's a
That's
matter of when you
good.
feel comfortable. That would be
So I want to ask this quick question because I received backlash from some of my girlfriends. So after my divorce, I never brought men in and out my children's life. So in other words, if I dated someone, I would date them away from my children. So for years, my kids never saw me with anyone. No one ever came to my home or anything. So for someone that, adopted that same dating, I guess, thing, how what advice would you give them, a person that, okay, for years no man came around, and then suddenly a female did come around? How would you advise your children to accept the parent dating again, if that makes sense?
well, I think a lot of it depends on the ages of the children.
Yeah.
If you got smaller kids, they may not remember and they may be more accepting. But if you got older kids, that's going to be where a lot of feelings and conversations going to have to come into play. Because you may have, say, a child that's 13 or 14, and they're used to having mommy or daddy to themselves the whole entire time, and now you're introducing a new person that I don't know who this is. Although you have maybe been secretly dating, but if you don't know, if I don't know what that person is, they're gonna have trust issues and trying to figure out who's coming in my house that's taking up my time with my parents.
Right.
Right. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good.
It depends on the ages.
the children. Yeah.
Because
I think
I
community.
don't think that's a bad thing.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's a bad thing, but like she said, you know your child.
Mhm.
And just like what you were saying, you said you were dating. You're not saying that you're doing something very serious. If you're just dating, then it's just you dating. Didn't nobody have nothing to say about that. That's just you going out, you eating, or you going to the movies or whatever, you having a good time at that moment, but you know there's nothing serious in that relationship. So you really don't see a need to introduce that person to your child.
Right.
You have to know how to become serious, because then it's no longer about you and your feelings. It's about your child's feelings as well, especially if that child gets attached to who you're dating.
Right.
What about I see, so I was a stepchild from hell on purpose. I wanted to see how you would act in a moment of anger. Wow.
We know that's a person.
I won't say think. I was too. Like I said, I didn't want them to be together. So speaking of that, like for your children that you had before your husband, do you still, or you may not do that as much now, but at the time, at the very beginning, did you still have time where it was just you three? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it was just you three, because you had two, correct? Yeah. Okay. So did you still like do things with just them without your husband? Just so you know what I'm saying? Just so y'all could just be together still, or did you just still all do everything as a family?
Most of the time we did things as a family. Like I said in the last show, one of my cardinal rules for marriage is don't give what you can't take. And had it been the other way around, I wouldn't have wanted him to do me like that, so I didn't do him like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
But there were times where it was me and just my older two kids, but it wasn't anything I planned. You know, it was because he was at work or, you know, he was, you know, doing something for the church or something. And I'll be like, okay, let's go get ice cream. You know what I'm saying? So when I did have those moments where it was the three of us, I did take advantage of that time, but I never did it and just left him out.
Okay, got you. Got you. But you still did it, but just not like you said, it wasn't planned. It was, but you still took advantage of. Okay, that's good though. That's still good.
That is good.
So I'm gonna ask this question.
I'm scared.
So when you go out, and yes, you've decided to become a family, how do you introduce yourself? Do you say, "Oh, these are my children," or are these our children? Because I have seen people do that who have become a family. And that's to me still showing division.
Right.
And not
It
unity.
does. It does. It's always our family. This is our family. There's nothing in between. There's nothing around. This is just us. That's what it is. That was always our game plan anyway. This is our family. Right. Only steps we got into leading up to the house. That's it. This is our family.
That's good.
Right.
Right. That's another question I was going to ask about the step versus, because the step kind of still shows a division there. People don't want to deal with that, but it is.
Right.
It's been tested though. We had some family members do stuff like, you know, bring presents for just our two biological children and not my other two children. Or, you know, we've had stuff like that happen. But I will say proudly that he shut it down.
That's good. That's good.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't got something for everybody, then whatever you got, just take it on back with you. We good.
That's good. That's good because that's how my mom and my dad are because my biological dad may be watching. So anyways, I have two. So but my stepfather, that's how my mom is. She introduced his kids as her kids. Like she doesn't say, you know, this is my stepdaughter and this is and even me. Like people always say, well, y'all look different, or you know, like, and we got the same dad. And so people like, oh, okay, you know. So then people got different moms, but we got the same dad. So it's good. That's good.
Like my oldest daughter, Trinity, she used to actually get upset when we had to go register for the school year and do things, and they would put like stepdad. And she was like, one time she actually cried. She was like, "Why are they putting stepdad?" Yeah. She was like, "That's not my stepdad." Like she said, "That's my dad." You know what I'm saying? So I think it just affects the parents, but it also affects the children.
It does.
She did not appreciate that. She really didn't.
It does. It does. Because our older two, they do not like that I don't put that down on there. We actually got an official name change. Because you can do that without actually going through an adoption. And do a name change. And so that's what we did. Because I said it made it seem more, you know, together for them. Because it was just like, not to disregard their father who passed away, but it's to say we're a family now, you know. It really affects the children, and people don't understand it because the outside, I think, sometimes will make a bigger hoopla of the differences there than you will.
That's
true.
Yep.
And I can't hear Nicole.
My question was, did you have any issue with the grandparents or aunts and uncles as it relates to you guys' union and how you're going to parent, you know, the children?
We had some differences, but quite a few of them was like, that's what y'all do, that's y'all house, that's y'all family. Y'all have to make it what you want it to be. And regardless of whoever else it was, that was always my mindset anyway. I didn't never want my kids to think they were missing something or I was just there for their mother or anything like that. Like, this is our family, and I want them to know this is our family, and I am your father. Regardless of what anybody else says, I know what I do, and I take care of you, so that makes me your father. That was always my mindset.
Oh, Nicole, I'm actually glad you asked that question. This sparked another question. So, getting back sort of like to the discipline and actually fathering, how did you deal with when other people outside of your family have something to say how you speak to or talk to your children? How did you deal with that?
We didn't even tolerate it. We didn't even tolerate
That's good.
it because it's so many of us. It's so many of us. And if you can't do what we're doing, then your opinion don't matter.
Right.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, you know what I'm saying? But you have to shut it down off gate because that will cause confusion in your home and in your marriage. So I never tell him,
That's
my mama
good.
said you can't do this and you won't do me like that either.
Right.
We are the parents. Nobody else cares these kids but us.
That's
We
good.
get it
That's
twisted.
good.
I listen to the opinion. We listen to the opinions of our parents. You know what I'm saying? But as far as them telling us how we have things, it can't work because they don't know our kids. Like I said, nobody knows your kids like you know your kids.
Right.
So I appreciate your suggestions. We appreciate your suggestions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't know. But you really don't know my child.
Right.
I can yell at one kid, but I might not be able to yell at the other one because one can't take being yelled at. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I
And you
love
might,
the
from the outside looking in, you might not know that.
Right.
I love the unity that you all have. And it sounds like that, your children know that, you make it known to the people outside. So the unity is just what is it makes your blend for sure. I have a question. Do you ever or have you experienced, especially once your kids got to teenage years, like, and I know that this is their dad and this is all that they know, but did you ever experience like the teenage attitude at all? As far as concerning their dad or Pastor Rice?
With that, it was a little weird. I never got attitudes as like, you're not my daddy or nothing like that. I would get attitude as in once they try to build a relationship with their biological father, as in why they didn't want me or what was wrong with me or things like that. It was never anything negative towards me. It was always questioning what was wrong with me, what was wrong with the relationship, what was going on at that time. It was always like, okay, I need to figure out this part of me because I feel a little bit of a void there because I just don't know why I feel this way or why I'm this angry when I see this person or something like that. It was never anything negative towards me.
But I will give him, I appreciate him for having handled all of that because there was parts of my older two children that he had to heal that I couldn't heal, if that makes any sense. Like there were times where he had to hold them and let them know I'm not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So they would have fine, so they would know they were loved, so they wouldn't feel, that void that they felt when they first started to understand that their biological father was not there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's good.
And with that, I have a question for Justin. And that's good. Well, first, before I get into that, Patrice, since you said that's good because I'm a grown woman, and there's been times where I've gone over to my mom and my dad's house and I've hugged him, and it's normally we hug and it's a hug, but it was one time I was just down and I hugged him, but I didn't let go, and he just held me. You know what I'm saying? Just like a dad's supposed to. Just let me cry. He didn't say nothing. He didn't ask me no questions. He didn't do none of that. He just let me cry. And that was the best thing since sliced bread. I promise you.
Right.
Or either pork chop and some hot sauce. But anyway, but Justin, question for you. Have you noticed, because I know you said the kids were younger and now they're a little older. Have you noticed that they appreciate you more now than they did when they were younger, or have you not noticed any difference? And I'm just asking because now I appreciate my dad more so now than I did then. I used to want him to go away. Like I just wanted him one morning, I wanted to wake up and he not be there. Not ill will, like as in deceased, not be there, but I'm just saying, like, you know, them moved out. But now I'm just like glad that he's there. So I'm just asking, like, have you noticed like that they appreciate you more now, especially since you said that their biological father has entered? Hopefully he's, you know, still in their life, but have you noticed like a change in them or no?
I'll say it has grown over the years. I mean, I think they always appreciated me, but I think once they found out about their biological father not being there, they appreciated me more then. And it made our bonds closer, because a lot of times you can see bonds kind of tear away in those type of situations, but ours actually got closer, and they actually looked at me more as their father and their daddy. No.
You want to ask them? They're right here. You want to ask them?
Yeah. Ooh.
Come out, children.
Are they matching their parents?
No.
Hello, sweetheart.
This is my 16-year-old daughter, Trinity.
Hello.
Come on, hurry up. Come on. Everybody, come on. Find a spot. Hop up here somewhere, find a spot.
Wow.
Down, up here, find a spot. We all in there? Oh. I need to slow. And one up there. Yeah, hop up there. I'm sorry, you guys.
It's a lot of us in a small camera.
No, you're fine. That's
All
good.
right. There's a lot of love. That's wonderful.
I'm Trinity and I'm 16.
Come on, who next?
We're the twins. I'm Josiah. I'm Faye. We're 11, about to turn 12.
Aw.
I'm 17.
I'm Joshua and I'm 18.
Yeah.
Joshua with the deep voice.
Pray for me. Pray for me.
So how do
This
y'all
question-
like being in this family?
What was the question?
How do you like being in this family?
I'm gonna go first. You feel me? It's, since I've been in the family the longest, you know what I'm saying?
God.
Okay, oldest.
Let the oldest rep.
It's a low key hockey team. Different personalities we gotta deal with. Sometimes we don't get along, but still we make it work.
Okay, I just I haven't been here this long.
Married.
Can't hear
So
you.
me. Oh, okay. So this is my niece Diamond. She's been with us almost a year.
Okay, so I think I haven't been here this long. And I'm the only child, so coming to a big family like this was a big change for me. I had to learn with them always, you know, always together, they always not every time it's like I'm in my own world. So it was a big adjustment, but overall I love it. It's great. I love it.
It was hard for her though, because she was the only child before she came to stay with us. So lots of times I would find her in different places of the house just hiding out. And I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I don't know. I just need time to myself. She was like, there's just too many people over the house. And y'all always got company. You know, and I'm just like, used to it. This is how we roll. This is how we, and if it wasn't meant for you to experience it, God would not have placed you with our family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
That's
And one thing
good.
that she hated the most was the chores. She still hated the chores.
Right.
She thought she was going to get away without having to do the chores.
Not
Yeah,
here.
nah.
I understand that one.
They had one question a minute ago. They wanted to know how Joshua and Trinity felt about him, you know, being y'all
Right.
dad.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, Joshua and Trinity.
do you all appreciate him more now than you would say you did when you were younger, or do you feel like it's just the same?
With understanding everything he does and how much he does and how much he sacrifices, yeah, I do appreciate him more.
What did you say it again?
With all the stuff, with you understanding all the stuff that he did and all the stuff he does, all the sacrifices, yes, I do appreciate him more than I did when I was little.
That's good. What about you, Joshua?
Yeah, so when I was young, when he wasn't there, it was a whirlwind. Like because I grew up around my mom, I had female tendencies to do like put my hand on my hip or something like that. So like when he came around, every time I would do it, he would like hit my hand or something like that. Something slight, but he taught me how to be who I am today, and I'm thankful for that.
That's good.
we learning some stuff tonight, and we just we didn't know all that.
That's good.
That's good.
Look, I appreciate you all because I say it's so amazing how God is strategic when He put a family together that you would never know that just you had no part in biologically creating Trinity. And I mean, you would never know.
Everywhere we go, nobody ever knows.
Yeah.
Even her. No, it's 2 hours too.
I know. She fit right in.
So I have a question. Once you got pregnant with the twins, how did the other children accept that?
Ooh.
I'm going first. Go ahead here. Keep going.
No, we gonna talk about this.
Go ahead.
First, I probably was born, but I was young. But I was both. I was like, oh my god, 2 girls. Then I was like, 2 boys. Then I was like, it's one of each. I was like, oh my goodness. So then when they was born, it was even more work because like I was little, but I had to be like, okay, now I got to keep an eye on them now because Trinity is like closer to age to me, so we were like the same stuff. But I was like, they little, so like I gotta. Mommy and daddy not around. I gotta look at them.
You gotta step up.
That's good. That's
My
good.
he's the oldest. So if me and my husband are not home, if we're not home, he's in charge. And nothing better not happen to none of my kids. So I'm coming for him.
That's good.
His job is to make sure everybody is safe. Her job is to make sure everybody is fed.
Yeah.
We all have jobs. I know it sounds funny, but we all have jobs. We don't all pull our weight. The house will be a mess. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any. Everybody has to do their job. Everybody does their own laundry. Everybody washes their dishes. I mean, one sweeps, one cleans the bathroom, one vacuums on Sunday mornings. Everybody takes turns with clothes. You know what I'm saying? We make sure they know the Bible as best we can. I mean, it's a lot, but you have to keep the schedule tight and have to make sure everybody knows that. Because when one of us goes down, the rest of us, they already know to do what? Pick up the slack. That's right.
That's right.
Patrice, do you have that written down? That sounds like a book.
Oh wow.
No, we just said it so many times. It just sounds like this.
My oldest 2, Joshua and Trinity, had a car accident this past week. And they were driving and the tire just flew off the car while they were driving. And they spun out of control and God protected them and everything. They came out with no broken bones, you know what I'm saying? No internal injuries, just a few bumps and bruises and headaches or whatever. But even in that, like he told me, my oldest son told me, he said, Mom, I can't get Trinity screaming out my head. He's like, all I could think about was what was going to happen to her because she was screaming.
So scared.
Yeah.
And how scared she was. He automatically went into protective mode. He said, I held that wheel with everything in me because Trinity was screaming. So he said, my way of protecting her was just by holding the wheel and making sure we didn't flip and stuff, whatever. And I'm proud of him for that.
Yeah, that's good.
We put that in.
Yeah, that's good. That's a blessing.
That's good.
How did you feel when the twins were coming? How did you feel?
I ain't like it because I'm spoiled.
I ain't like it. I'm spoiled. Like when I'm not saying that all the attention went towards them, but now when they were like when they were born and we knew that when they knew they were coming, I couldn't just walk in the store and be like, "Hey, mom, I want this piece of candy. I'm gonna put it up here," and she just say yes. She's like, "No, Trin, I have to get this for them." Da 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 da. So I can't just like throw a piece of candy up there or throw a bag of chips up there. Something like, "Hey, mom, I want this." I can't get it because they're on the way or they're here and they need stuff. Her biggest thing is Christmas. She hated when Christmas came when the twins got here. And she was like, "I don't even get all my presents because they got to get presents." I was like, "Stop it." That's his fault. He spoiled her ridiculously. So when the twins came, she had, yes, she did. I couldn't even do her hair unless he was sitting on the floor holding her hand.
I was helping you. You were helping her. I was helping you out to make sure her hair got done.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I love it. That's good. That's good. I understand. Me and my brother are 16 years apart. So Trinity, I'm with you. I understand.
That's a big gap.
Yeah. I understand, baby.
My sister and I are 6.5 years apart, and she still tells the story about when she found out my mom was pregnant. So I understand, sweetheart. I'm the baby, and she didn't like me, but it's okay.
We're going to go through another adjustment period right now because my oldest Joshua leaves next month to go to college.
Oh, I know, mommy.
Congratulations.
Everybody's gonna miss him in that house too. Watch.
Yes.
Can't hear you.
Everybody's roles are getting ready to
We can't hear her.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Couldn't hear you.
I said everybody's roles are going to switch as of next month because Joshua's leaving going to college.
Oh
That's
yeah.
true.
Got you.
So now everybody's getting ready to have to work on and do a whole new role, something they're not used to, even this one right here. Even the twins. So yeah, everybody has to step up. Everybody has to step up because the house has to keep running no matter what.
Right. That's good. We have a question on the floor. When having a blended family, is it hard financially?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say just a blended family in particular, but with the number of us it is, I mean, yeah, it can be financially difficult at a lot of points. You have to really know how to budget and know what is a need versus what is a want.
That's good.
Yes, I would say to that, I think it was an adjustment for my husband. I was already used to paying for 3 people. When he was going from paying for 1, maybe 2 when we went out, going to pay for 4, he said,
Yeah.
It's a different kind of feel here.
Yeah.
Like if we took the whole family out to eat, that's half the mortgage right there.
Oh yeah, taking a big family out of no channel.
We do a lot of cooking.
Oh, that's a good thing.
And that's another thing I can say. Everybody in this house knows how to cook, including them.
Wow.
That's good.
That's good. So we kind of hit on this a little bit earlier, but we have a question now. How do you meet each child's need? And I think you spoke to this earlier, but certainly, how do you meet each child's need?
It's not easy, but it's doable. It's not easy, but it's definitely doable. I have girls, I have boys, I have teenagers, and I have younger children. So I pretty much got every color of the rainbow in this house. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of knowing each child, knowing what they can handle, what they can't handle, how to talk to each one of them. Because you just, like I said earlier, you can't just yell at everybody because everybody can't, take being yelled at. And I'm not going to hurt my head yelling no way.
Right.
I'm just saying. But like for the twins, when I tell them to do something, most of the time they're going to do it immediately. So that's not really too much of an issue. It's these teenagers. It's the teenagers that's the issue. Like this one right here, she always want to be in her room on the phone, and this one over here, not used to doing chores, and she got this thing where if you talk to her a certain type of way, she ready to pop back off on you like she wrong when she's not. You know what I'm saying? And then that one makes sense. Like, well, I'm about to leave the house, so why I gotta do anything? Because you still here. That's why.
Right.
You're still
Right.
here. Yeah. That part. So yeah, it's just a matter of knowing each one of them and how to deal with. Like my baby girl, I can't wait. You can't yell at her. If you yell at her, she will call the baby. You can yell at her. It hurts her feelings. Like she's soft hearted like that. And this one right here, my baby boy Josiah, he has the softest heart out of anybody in his family. If anything happens to either one of us, he gonna cry his eyeballs out. That's just, and he gonna wait on you hand and foot to make sure you're okay. So everybody has their pros, everybody has their cons, but it's a matter of knowing how to deal with each one of them. And we don't deal with them the same way. I deal with all 5 of the kids different than he does because they need something different from each parent.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
That's very good.
Do you still try to, do you all, speaking of how you meet each child's need, do you all still try to spend time with each child kind of individually, like to give them that, or do you dad, do you take the girls out, have father-daughter day type thing, and then you and the guys hang out, and mom, do you go and like, do y'all separate it like that, or do you just kind of wing it, or how do you all do that?
A lot of times you kind of wing it. It's funny you said like me taking them to do things. I was actually thinking about that on this past week to start doing stuff like that. But I guess sometimes, yes, I did think about that for a little bit. But sometimes I would try to come in their rooms and like spend like maybe 3 or 4 minutes with them just one-on-one, and just try to figure out what's going on in their head, or make them feel kind of good at that moment that I actually came to see you and spend a little time with you. Me and the boys, we kind of maybe sometimes watch football together, maybe, from time to time. And hit each other. Yeah, you're right. And hit each other. Yeah.
Shopping. We shopping a lot.
She likes to shop a lot, but anyway. She has what you call only child syndrome.
Yes.
She wants to be the only child. She wants the whole world to revolve around her.
I don't like how you got out there like that.
I actually call it Trendy's world.
Yeah, she has her own world.
Trinity, call me, boo. I understand. Call me.
When it comes to it, they will all step up and do what needs to be done. I will say that much. No matter what, I will say that much. When the kids had the accident this week, my baby girl, she jumped up to she's, I'm going with you. I said, no, I need you to stay home because I don't know what's going on. But she's like, well, mom, that's my brother, that's my sister. I want to go see what's going on. I said, I will call you once I find out what's going on. But when I tell you, they have each other's back. They can talk junk to each other, but ain't nobody gonna talk junk about them outside of the circle.
Right.
Not that type of show.
I can even see the oldest one in the back getting hype about nobody is gonna mess with his family.
we have moments like this. All gathered here, talking to you guys. We do this with each other, even not in front of a camera. We sit in the kitchen and have dinner, or we sit around the island and do whatever. And we cut up and crack jokes on each other. You have to make it fun. It's 7 of us in here. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Things still got to be done. So you might as well just have as much fun as possible.
Gosh, going somewhere.
I love it.
Well, we certainly appreciate you all being on tonight, taking out of your time and spending a little time with us. Do you all have any questions or anything that you would like to say? Children, since you're here, anything you want to offer, any advice you want to advise other children in your same situation?
That's good.
We couldn't hear him.
Louder.
lot of personalities.
He may have to he may have to come closer to the camera. We can't hear him.
Come on down here. Come on down.
When you're the oldest, you gotta be patient and you gotta deal with different siblings differently. It's a roller coaster ride, but if you're ready for it, you know, you gotta be patient. Be patient. Okay, that's good stuff.
That's good.
Well, for
Good.
me,
we have Stefan saying, "Come and get your cousins."
oh,
Come get 'em.
well, for me,
To our viewers,
The
we
baby.
just want to
Trinity was saying something, I think.
Uh-huh.
go ahead, Trinity.
for advice, I'm just gonna say for teenagers my age, I would say to read the Bible and pray, because that's what keeps my sanity when I have to deal with my crazy siblings.
No, she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
But I'm telling
She
you,
stay in the word. She does.
You can walk past that room at any moment and she's in the Bible, in the floor with the Bible.
That's
For real.
great.
That's good
That
advice,
is awesome.
young lady. That's some good advice for us older people too. Thank you.
Yeah.
That
Thank you.
all right. Thank y'all. We want to thank you both. Thank you all for being a part of our show. And to our viewers, if you want to contact Justin or Patrice Rice, they are Pastor Justin and Lady Patrice Rice now. Their email is cdministries@yahoo.com. So feel free to reach out to them. And we thank you for being a part of our show again tonight.
Yes.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
And we know that
It's ministry, so thank you.
Yes.
absolutely. We know that you are family in every way. So when Corona is over or whenever, we'll see you around. But thank you again so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye. All right, ladies. That was so good. So good.
A lot of information that I hope our viewers can take if they in that situation that they found very beneficial to them.
Yes, I got a lot of nuggets tonight.
Yeah. That's why I asked her if she had it written down, because I mean she rolled that schedule out and who did what like it was nothing. And to have a household of 7, that is not easy in any shape, form, or fashion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they seem like they on a well-oiled machine. Like they making blended family look very
easy.
Right.
Non-complicated, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Because we
This
do
has
know
been
there may be
good.
some families out there that just don't get along, you know.
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
to keep them in prayer, you know. Because it can be difficult for children to accept the fact that mom or dad has remarried.
Right.
And then
Absolutely.
and then too, you know, you have to look at the fact that while mom and dad or whoever dating, the significant other is nice to them, but then once they got married, that's their opportunity to show authority. And so sometimes attitudes change and treatment changes. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Natasha. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead, Latoya.
I was about to say, and it's even hard to piggyback off of that. It's even hard to sometimes accept when you were, let's say for me, when my children went over to their dad's house, it was kind of hard to accept that their rules was different from mine.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
You know, the way they did their house, I had to, the kids came back, I had to remind them, hold on now, that's at your dad's house.
Right.
Rooms here, and we have to there. And then sometimes it's hard for the adults to even understand that. Because sometimes we feel like, you know, what I do here, then you should do there, but it doesn't work like that. That's two different houses.
It's
two
have
to come together on some things. However, other things, this is how we run this, and that, you know, you run that.
Yeah,
right. Definitely.
every parent discipline different. So
Yeah.
and so that's where it's harder for children. Like that's why communication is really the key when it comes to that, because it can confuse a child, especially when they're
That's
younger.
true.
And when they become teenagers, they know better. I think they know better. But as a younger child, it's just it's hard, for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also good that he said their father came back into their lives. It's good that he didn't make them choose.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's important, because sometimes as adults we can force our opinions on the other parent or the other parent
Absolutely.
on the child.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's not right to do that either. It's not
No,
right.
it's not. It's not.
That's right. Well, ladies, this has been a real good discussion tonight.
Absolutely.
I hope our viewers enjoyed this topic, blended families. We would like to thank our bishop and first lady for supporting our platform, and we hope you join us again for our next show, which will air September the 4th.
Yes.
We would like to invite you to support our ministry, and hope that you will prayerfully consider joining us in giving. There are 2 ways to give. For Cash App is $TLCWC, and online is TLCWC.org. Again, that's Cash App $TLCWC, and online TLCWC.org.
Yay.
So, ladies, until September the 4th, I hope you have a blessed and be safe. Be safe.
Absolutely.
Be safe. And so until then, let's inhale and exhale. And good night.
Good night.
Good night.